So today is a little bit different. I'm down at my buddy Hector's place and we're putting a roof on a really simple structure. Just a simple roof, no gables and turns or L shapes or anything. In this video you'll just see a very simple, straightforward way to go about putting down metal roofing. This is a job that is just easy for one or two people to do. You should not be intimidated by it. And if your structure is more complicated than what you see here, this will at least give you like a heads up, a first start on how to conceptualize putting down metal roofing. 1x3 strapping, that's what we're going to use underneath the roof. And then this is the metal roofing, and then in here is all the specialty pieces, which is pretty much just edge trim. And if you're going to do one of these jobs, you can become friendly with a bag of these. These are the gasketed screws that you use to put down the roofing. So we're just getting going on laying the strapping, and there's really not a lot of trick to this. We're just basically boxing it in, as you can see, and then we'll be doing horizontal members this way attached to each one of the joists underneath. But the only trick here that I was just thinking I should point out is that our piece on the top is about 10 inches from the ridge line. I've got a chalk line here along the ridge. That's because our cap, we got a big old cap that has about a 12-inch span to it or an 11-inch span to it. So this will allow us, once all the roofing's down, this will allow us to screw our ridge cap to something. You got to have some support under that ridge cap.
Oh, that's right. So the RV.
Here is the first side all strapped out. I don't know, maybe it took us an hour or something. And you can see we got the edges along the sides, along the bottom. These pieces are all 36 inches apart. Hector made some cool spacers we've been using just to space these out, so we're going to have to measure as we go. And it's time to switch to the other side. All right, so that's the last piece of strapping, and you can see we got both sides done. So this side here, this side over here is ready to go. And the only curiosity is this guy. It's just a plywood patch. We had a soft spot that turned into a hole, so we just covered that over. It's thinner than the strapping, so the roofing will just, barely touch it in that one section. I'm just gonna set the ladder up a little bit. I just wanted to mention just the tools we're using on the project. So super simple, hardly anything for the putting down the furring strips. You just need a saw, like a circular saw, and either hammer, nails, or a nail gun. We use the nail gun just because it's faster. And then for the metal roofing, the rig is pretty simple. I do rubber gloves. That just gives me more traction on that metal roofing. You don't need it, but I like it that way. And then some kind of driver, either an impact gun, impact, or a power drill. The impact, if you do use an impact, just take it easy. You don't want to drive these guys down. It's a really gentle touch on the screw, and it's handy if you've got a bucket of screws that you can kind of reach into with one hand. So you reach in with one hand for your screws, and then screw them in with this guy. We are halfway done with the roof. We got this side on and the top is cut, ready for the ridge cap, and it's looking pretty good. We're just laying some panels up here, hoping the wind doesn't blow too much, blow them off. And again, we're gonna start on this side. We're starting on this side just because the prevailing wind tends to blow this way, and that will give it less of a chance of getting up under anything. I think it's gonna be solid either way, but that's just a little bit of advantage for us as we put the panels down. A little windy. All right, so this baby's getting really close. You can see we've got both sides on, and we are missing about 2 feet right here. And we're just gonna take a single sheet and rip it the long way, but we still have to order that. So that's gonna be a little bit, another couple days before we finish that slice. Right here, we're just cutting this other top section. It's got a kind of nice lip when the wind's blowing this way, but obviously we need to cut it back so we can put a cap on it to make it nice and tight. And right now we're just installing this fascia trim along the side. It just kind of runs up the side. It also has the nice added feature of holding the roofing down when the wind's blowing. So you got to put this stuff on the side, otherwise you'll end up with a flapper on the side of your roof. And then here we're just snipping just a little bit off this tip here, just to make it kind of a little more aesthetically pleasing, and just quarter inch off. And we've got that's Hector's using a right hand snip, and we've got a left hand snip for the other side. All right, well that's a wrap on this roof project. Thanks for checking it out. If you've got a simple roof, I think this would be helpful. If you have a complicated roof, at least it's a start in the right direction. Hit me with comments down below. I always respond, and I will see you in the next project.